Hello, love. Welcome back, family. Sending you so much love wherever you are here on Momma Gaia. This is your next set of galactic coded transmissions, this time coming in on behalf of the Venusians. And I'm working with some very specific decks here. Before we get into the Oracle/tarot card reading, they wanted me to place the decks here specifically as so. This particular deck here is a deck that I've created myself on behalf of the Venusians, working with the Venusians. We've got the Rose Oracle deck here, the Universal Tarot de Marseille here, and the Work Your Light Oracle deck here as well. And specifically, they want me to place this deck with the bottom of the deck up. Mintaken, Longing for Home, Belonging, and the original Lightworkers. The energy of this reading is going to focus predominantly on empaths and lightworkers and starseeds alike. I've spoken in the past and continue to speak of what I refer to as the ELSHAA Collective, which I'm now referring to that. But here's the thing. We are all, like I've said many times before, we are all one at the end of the day, all working together. This is just forms of delineation that are very specific to the energy that I'm tapping into, the frequency, the vibrations that I'm tapping into. And I keep on hearing with that, this is how we shine our light. And when we speak about shining the light and shining our light, many times people hear that and they kind of roll their eyes. That's what they're showing me right now. Oh, I apologize. I just hit the camera. They are wanting to say with that, though, that essentially what that means is your self-expression. It means your ability to express your own authenticity. And on that note, I'm just going to get into a little bit of the crystal energy that I'm working with for this reading. I've got this beautiful big chunk of rose quartz here. I'm also working with this piece of selenite, okay? And also this particular orgone pyramid is with kunzite as well. So there's a lot of heart-centeredness here. And I'm also being directed very quickly to bring in this piece of malachite that had come through the previous coding message, okay? Working with the energies of Momma Gaia, of course, okay? But this is all very heart-centered. We're working with a lot of green and pink color, frequency, and energy here. I'm going to place that right here as well, so it's in frame along with this beautiful piece of selenite. Okay, so they want me to start by just taking a card here from this particular deck to set the notion in motion is what I'm hearing. The notion in motion. This has to do with the notions, the preconceptions that we have about people, and the judgments that we often have about people. The preconceived notions that we have about people. Okay, they want me to just take a look at this for a moment and tune into the frequency of this reading. Okay, so there's going to be a twofold message coming through here around where we belong, and the flip side of that being judgment. The judgments that we have for others. And the energy of judging where we belong and where we don't belong. This is especially connected to Starseeds and the Starseed experience, and something that I have spoken about before with regard to feeling like we don't fit in, and how that can be a crutch sometimes. It can be a crutch that I'm hearing absolves us from the truth. It's a blind spot. It can be a blind spot, is what they're showing me. We all belong because we are children of the universe. We are children of God. We are children of Source. So wherever you may be feeling in your life, in this incarnation, in your soul path here on earth, that you do not belong, we need to reframe, I'm hearing, the situation. And they're saying that in a kind of fun and cheeky and playful way, okay? So we've got, it is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. This is what the fox says to the little prince in the story of the little prince. It's safe to love once more. It's safe to love once more. And I'm also hearing here specifically, it's safe to love yourself once more. Okay? And we've got send out the beams of love, agape. That was actually already right side up when we started this reading. Send out the beams of love, agape. Agape is the Greek word for love. Okay, I'm also hearing the word storyi here. So this is a love that is supportive, a love that is unconditional, okay, is what they're showing me with that. And now they're directing me back to this Mintakan energy. Okay, so this is also a specific message for those of you who feel like you are light workers as well, who resonate more with being light workers and feeling like you don't fit in. This has to do with frequency, okay? So much of the reason why we feel as starseeds and light workers that we do not fit in here on Earth has to do with frequency and the experience of density here in the 3D, in the third dimensional space realm, is what the Venusians are bringing through here. And they're directing me back for some reason to the work of the Law of One. Now, I have only started delving into the Law of One in terms of actually reading the original material. If anyone has any insights on this, please leave that in the comment sections below. Around this concept of belonging, or around this concept of feeling like you fit in and that you fit in no matter what, because at the end of the day, did I say no matter what? I meant to say no matter what. Okay, so this is about a massive shift in consciousness around the Law of One, unity and fitting in and belonging. I'm hearing once more. For some of us, we need to hear that. We need to hear that it's okay to essentially, and I put this in quotation marks, fit in. But what they mean by that is to immerse yourself or be at one with all that is in your life, and not to differentiate or diverge is the word that I'm hearing. Diverging away from something that is of interest to you, that could be a very specific message, and they're directing me back to this. It is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. This is about seeing with the eye of the heart. And this is directly connected as well to the ancient teachings of Christianity, Christ and Mary Magdalene and Mother Mary, all connected to the Venusian energies as well. Okay? This is interesting because there's something here with the Mintakans, the connection to Orion, the constellation of Orion. The fact that in other decks, I know that in decks that Rebecca Campbell has created, in the Starseed Oracle deck, this is something that had come through in a recent reading as well. The Orion energy card is connected to quote-unquote karmic relationships. Okay. Now, without getting too off topic in terms of a much more deeper understanding of what karmic means, this is something that had come through again in another reading, and I can't remember which one it was, but essentially it has to do with the fact that we have to really look at the actions that we are creating as a better way of understanding karma. And redressing a balance is what they're saying to me. They're bringing in the energy of Libra now as well, and the energy of Libra season, the energy of the Venusians, again connected to this Libran energy and the Libran themes. Okay? Redressing a balance, balancing the scales, and especially when it comes to the experience of relationships and how many empaths here on Earth, part of the empath journey is redressing balances in what we understand as karma through relationship. Okay? Understanding also that relationships are built on frequencies. And the shift that is ongoing right now is how they're showing it to me. So much of this having to do with more light codes, solar flares, enlightenment in general on the planet, and the shift in frequencies on Momma Gaia, her own energies, are having a lot to do with redressing balances in relationship and new concepts of love. And this is very specific to the empath journey. Okay, so I'm going to take the Mintakan card out here. They're guiding me to do that and put it right there. Okay, look at that. Break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future at the bottom of the deck. So some of this has to do as well with patterns ancestrally. And more than not, when we say patterns ancestrally, what we mean here is does that break the chain again? There we go. Okay. So they really want to emphasize that. This is about rewriting the future. This is about rewriting the story. So we all have the power to do that as individuations of source energy, of individuations of creation energy. Okay, we are constantly co-creating with the universe, and we have the ability to shift our story at any time, and that includes stories we tell ourselves about the karma, quote unquote, that we have or that we're here to absolve. Okay, take a break. Life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. So what I'm hearing with that is take a break from the work of thinking you constantly have to be working on your karma. Some of us need to hear that. Priestess, how are you being called to step up and lead? Divine feminine energies coming through here, really emphasizing the number 2, the high priestess in the tarot, and the 2 being a number of relationship. Answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? This is about tapping into your passions, your desires, as a way to transmute the pain is what I'm hearing with that. And Starseed, what lights you up? These two are going hand in hand here. This answer the call and this Starseed energy here, what lights you up, they're all going hand in hand. And for some of us, very specifically, this is about taking the wheel. Whew. Stepping up and leading. I'm also hearing claiming your rights, but rights as in not R-I-G-H-T, rights as in R-I-T-E-S, connected to the priestess. There is an energy here of initiation taking place after a break, is what they're showing me with that. So that might be a confirmation for some of you. This might be something that is also upcoming. And this is in connection to it's safe to love once more. So maybe this is also a break from a self-imposed hiatus when it comes to relationships. And now you are being essentially called to get back out there again, essentially. Okay? And this goes back to the energy of feeling like you don't fit in. Feeling like you're never going to find a significant other, for example, or a divine counterpart, or a sacred union. Feeling like you're never going to find soul family. Feeling like you're never going to fit in. Soul family, what they're showing me, can take many, 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 many different forms. huge emphasis on this. Soul family does not necessarily mean that the people you meet who are soul family or supposed to be soul family think and act the exact same way you do. They may have similar stories, but they may also not. It's a frequency, and they keep on emphasizing that. Feel into the frequency is what they keep on saying to me. Remember when you were a child, is what I'm hearing. Remember when you were a child and you just knew who your friends were. Like you just, the energy was there. You connected immediately. There were I'm hearing no assessments of, is this person right for me? Okay, because as empaths, we can really do that at some point. As conscious souls, we can really kind of fall into, and it depends on where we're at in our journey, okay? It depends on where we're at in our journey. Sometimes, especially if we've had to set up or cut off, is what I'm hearing. They're showing me the Queen of Swords here, like draw some pretty heavy lines in the sand around certain relationships and people. What happens is sometimes when we start to get back out there, we will almost be overcritical of who we will allow into our space based on a checklist of criteria that they're saying to me is actually null and void. You cannot do this with the logical mind, is what they're saying to me. It's much more holistic than that. So understand that it is a frequency thing. It's an energy thing. If I can make it as simple as possible, it is an energy thing. Meaning that you just know. Then there's no need to overthink it. You're just going to know. They're showing me a lot of rose energy, pink energy. Temple of the Rose at the bottom of the deck. Ancient power, expression, activation, scarlet codes. They're showing me the energy, though, of pink and golds is what I'm seeing. Again, this is energy that's very connected to the Venusians in general. But this is also the energy of connection to the heart and alchemy. Some of us have really worked on alchemizing all said pains and traumas. And we're ready. We're ready to move on. We're ready, I'm hearing, to really trust ourselves in relationship again. This is an energy of being open to the new forms of love that are asking to come into your life. Okay, so we'll hit the mic with that. Okay, they want me to stop there and actually kind of bring through a coded message here in a sense. So, of your own free will, I invite you now, along with the Venusian energies coming through this reading. I'm also seeing the energy of the Venusian angels, so the angelic realm wanting to come through with this as well, especially with emphasis on Archangel Gabriel. That may be a confirmation for some of you. The energies of Mother Mary, of Mary Magdalene, Jesus Christ. I'm seeing Archangel Michael as well. The angelics, the angelic realm. And I'm also seeing the Fae. For some of us, this has a lot to do with our inner child, the child that is us, as I like to say. Okay? Feel into the energy of your heart here. And you can take one hand and place it on your heart as we do this. I'm going to do the same with you. Taking a deep breath right into your heart, filling it with pink and golden light. And see that energy as you continue to breathe, expanding into your entire aura, your auric fields, your auric field in all dimensions of time and space. And I'm hearing with that the super galactic attractor. Feel into the energy of having faith and trust that you, from here on, affirm, that you attract into your life relationships, people, and situations and things that are only in alignment with your highest and greatest truth, love, and growth is what I'm hearing. Not just good, but growth. Feel into the faith and trust of that deep within your heart. There is nothing to question here, is what they're saying to me. There is nothing here to question. It is done. You know that when you send that out into the resonant field, I'm hearing the word harmonic, the harmonics. When you send that out into the resonant field and you affirm this and you do it on the daily and you feel specifically into this energy, there is nothing to worry about. There's nothing to stress about. Trust and have faith that your embodied higher self, that your spirit team, your guides, have your back when it comes to this. Feel into that energy and know that it is done. You've done the work. For those of you that are watching this message, you've done the work, who've gotten this far anyway. That's what they're affirming to me. You've done the work. They're showing me the Lover's card now. The union of the divine feminine and the divine masculine within each and every one of us. Okay? And so it is. La alam amin. Amen. Affirming and praying for this, affirming and praying for this, affirming and praying for this is a way to really feel into the energy. And when I say prayer here, I'm talking about tuning in to the frequency of this as if it is already done. Okay? And feeling into that and affirming that. Plant yourself here. Integration, embodiment, grounded action. And rose without thorns. You have a right to your joy, sweetness of life. I'm going to put that here with what lights you up and what is your soul calling you to do. So there's something about being in the zone of genius is what I'm hearing. Who wrote that? There was the man who wrote that book. I think his last name was Hicks. Being in your zone of genius, 2222 on the counter as I say that, okay? Being in your own zone of genius is where it's the sweet spot of where your skills and abilities, your natural talent, skills, and abilities overlap with your joy, with the things that you are passionate about. Start here is what they're showing me. They're showing it to me like on a game board. Like Snakes and Ladders or like Monopoly. They're like, start here. And continue to follow the golden breadcrumbs of joy is what I'm hearing. The sacred union, beloved within, inner and outer relationships. So that's a beautiful confirmation of this Lover's card energy coming through, of this energy that has so much to do with the union of the divine feminine and masculine within each and every one of us. Some of us, what they're showing me, have done a lot of work on this. And now it's time to let it shine. That's literally what I'm hearing. And I'm hearing it like a song. I'm hearing it like that song, This Little Light of Mine, I'm gonna let it shine. That's what I'm hearing. But it's like, it's your light now. Okay. All right. And they simply want me to finish off with the tarot here, specifically with some, I'm hearing interstellar guidance. Whoa! They're having a lot of fun with this. There's a cheekiness about this. You know, the energy of the Fae coming through there too a little earlier feels very much like some of us, especially with this, what lights you up and answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? And the rose without thorns. You have a right to your joy, peace, sweetness of life. This has so much to do with just what makes you feel like a kid again. Like in the most exalted way possible, of course, right? What makes you feel like pure joy? What makes you feel, what makes you feel like a kid again? Look at that. Because some of us have not really been in that space. It's the Page of Cups in reverse, okay? They want me to put that right here. Some of us have not really been feeling like we're in this space of just wanting to explore our joy. And the way to do that is to tap back into the things that bring you joy. And for some of you, this is a really specific message around getting involved with either like a group or a community. And preferably they're showing me this online, like I'm seeing Reddit threads, or like Quora. But they're showing this to me specifically in person, like joining some kind of group that has a connection to something that you really enjoy doing. Okay. Some kind of group or community. What are you into? What do you enjoy doing? Is it photography? Is it dance? They're showing, for me, like, for example, they're talking, they're showing me essentially how you are expressing your creative life force energy through something creative and in a way that is nourishing for you. That's why we've got this cup energy coming through here. What fills your cup? What leaves you energized? What leaves you energized that you can do with others in a group? Because you will find soul family there. And again, they may not be people who are doing the same quote unquote spiritual things that you're doing, but they're going to fill your cup somehow. They're going to be supportive for you, especially what I'm hearing is on the physical plane. Isn't that interesting? They want me to pull this one out. Yeah, look at that. So this is about coming out of this Four of Cups energy. Again, we've got cups here, so this is a lot of heart space work, right? Feelings, the emotional body. This Four of Cups coming out of not seeing all those cups that are there in front of you. For some of us, this is about actually seeing things differently in terms of what is soul family. Isn't that crazy? That's a big thing. That's a big lesson. Because some of us are judging the fact that because we have friends that simply don't maybe completely understand where we're coming from as Lightworkers and Starseeds, and even empaths and highly sensitive people for that matter, that still does not mean that they can't be our friends. The difference is when we are with people who are completely discounting that, okay? That's different from not understanding. You cannot understand something and accept it because you see that it literally lights the other person up, right? Sorry, it's the Starseed card. What lights you up? People don't need to understand it at a technical level to get you. Okay? Yeah, Ace of Wands. What lights you up? What sparks joy? That is the Ace of Wands. Let me put it up here, over here. We're going to end this reading on this note. What lights you up? What is your creative spark? The thing that really sparks you. Look at that. High Priestess coming out again. She's going to go on the Priestess. This is just another confirmation of this divine feminine energy of creation, of channeling your creativity into something through relationship, because they're really emphasizing the two here. And then we've got the Knight of Swords in reverse. Isn't that interesting? That's going to go with this Take a Break card. I'm sorry, I keep on knocking this stand. Okay. So I'm hearing don't rush into things and fools rush in. None of us seem to be rushing into anything, but the flip side of that is that we never do anything. So where are you on that spectrum? Because it's not just about this energy of being still. We have to find a balance, right? We have to find a balance. With these two cards coming out here, this is a connection of you specifically listening to what sparks joy for you, for you and listening to that intuitively. This is the divine inspiration. So very specifically, what has been coming up for you recently? And specifically, they're saying to me in the last couple of weeks. Because we got this high priestess energy and she's a 2, okay? And I'm also getting there's some portal energy coming through with that. Because remember that the high priestess sits at a threshold, she's at a portal, right? And in Roman numerals, the 2 looks like columns to me, like portal energy, like pillars. Very similar to the sign of Gemini, right? So the hieroglyph for Gemini. So where in the last couple of weeks, and apparently anytime, this is what they're saying to me, anytime you see this reading 2 weeks after the fact, and for anybody, pay attention to the next couple of weeks, where there might be something very specific coming up for you intuitively in terms of doing some kind of creative exercise thing, becoming part of a group creatively. This could be online, but they're showing me this happening in the physical. They're showing me people actually together, like in a class or in a workshop. Okay? Where might this be coming up for you? And just go in that direction. Follow your intuition in terms of what is sparking joy within you creatively. There's something here that's going to unlock some very meaningful soul family connections. Okay? And it's interesting. I'm going to end it on this note. Plant yourself here. This is very much how this card is coming through with regard to these creative endeavors and meeting people is really, where are you? Where are you physically planted right now? And really grounding yourself in that and honoring that and cherishing that. Okay? Very, very specific message in terms of really loving where you are right now. And this goes back to that earlier energy, in contrast to the earlier energy that was coming through around feeling like you just don't fit in. You do. I'm hearing you do, beloved. You do. You're a child of God. You're a child of the universe. You are a child of Source. There's a reason why you're here. There's a reason why you are physically here on Earth. And really, to put it as simply as I possibly can, because they keep on directing me back to this area of the reading, it is to shine your light. It is to hold that torch up high. It is to pursue what lights you up. It is to answer the call of what your soul is calling you to do. And there's nothing complicated about this. It's simple. And I mean, it's like I'm hearing that phrase, every journey, like of, 10,000 steps. I don't know why that specific number is coming through. This number is actually very much associated with Mother Isis and Momma Iset. So maybe that is a confirmation for some of you. She's coming through with a high priestess energy in this particular reading. So there's I'm also getting a lot of Syrian energy with that, Lyran energy with that. There's a lot of ancient Arcturians coming through, a lot of ancient Starseeds, star families, I should say, specifically, Galactic families coming through with that. And what they're showing me is that Earth is like home to them. They kind of see Earth like their baby. So she's not a foreign place in that respect. And that's a way in which we can understand how cherished this experience is, how cherished it is to be here on Earth, okay? Shining this beautiful light, okay? Knowing that you came here for a reason, and hold on to that is what they're saying. Hold on to that, even if you feel like, because they're showing me the Hermit card now, even if you feel like you're kind of in the dark as to where this is going to go. Go back to that earlier part of this message where we were tuning in to that energy of having faith and trust. Trust that you're going to find your people. Trust that you've already found them. Trust that you are in alignment with your soul path. Trust that there's a reason for you being here. I'm going to end it on that note. Thank you to the beautiful Venusians, these energies coming through spirit, especially these energies connected to the High Priestess, the Divine Feminine energies, Mama Iset. I thank you, Starseed, Lightworker, Empath, Awakened Soul, a healer in your own right is what I'm hearing, for being here. And I'm sending you so much love wherever you are. Beautiful Momma Gaia, in love and liberation, always.